Hi everybody, welcome to another episode, a special morning sunrise episode of Two Hands in a Radio. You're all saying, Two Hands, you've lost your mind. What are you doing out here so early in the morning? There is a method to the madness, and there's a reason I'm out here this early. Today, we are looking at the Eton Mini Grundig edition. This has been on my radar for a long time. And it's well, Amazon dropped the price $5, and that's what pushed me over the edge. It comes from Amazon, $30.59. Normally runs $35 and some change. List on it is $44.99. And like I said, it's been out there for a long time. I've had this. I've played with it the last couple of days. I actually did a video yesterday. Did two videos yesterday. Neither one turned out worth a hoot, and we'll get to that in a moment as well. So one take, everybody knows the rules, and sometimes we rewrite the rules. Anyway, we have in front of us an Easter egg filled radio. Some call it Easter. I guess the modern terminology would be Easter eggs. Us old people would call it undocumented features. I kind of call it a poorly written manual. Anyway, here we go. Oh, there's that poorly written manual that just fell out. It looks like a book, and ooh, I got it wet. That's not good. Looks like a book, but it's in multiple languages, and it's only a couple of 3 pages, really. It's not much. So anyway, let's try not to keep things too moist here. Got a lot of dew everywhere. Here's the part we're all after, but we'll go over. Got a nice little nylon carrying case with it. Haven't opened that up yet. And then the radio itself is crammed down into this little plastic thing. Excellent. Here it is. We hit the focus. We hit the focus and we're about ready. Absolutely love the form factor of this radio. This is what I was looking for to take outside, drop in my shirt pocket, just go anywhere, have a neat little shortwave radio. That's what I'm after, shortwave. And just, I thought this was it, as I talk in past tense. Anyway, the Easter eggs on this thing. Let's talk about size, then Easter eggs. The size, 4 3/8, 2 3/4 wide, 1/2 inch thick. This thing is tiny. It is smaller than most cell phones. Fits easily in your shirt pocket. It's lightweight. It is the perfect form factor for just a little portable radio. And let me preface this by saying, this is not a $700 desktop communications receiver. This is a $30 extreme compact radio. And so you have to keep that in mind. You have a speaker that can't be more than an inch and a half in diameter. You have to accept that piece of it, that it's not going to be the sharpest knife in the block, but it's just to get that. Maybe you're out camping, hiking, whatever, and you just want that shortwave fix, and here's some radio, and maybe not, certainly probably not your daily driver. Anyway, we got that out of the way. The Easter eggs on this thing, undocumented features, poorly written manual features that should be in that poorly written manual. With the power button off, if we hit the hour display, we can cycle through and we can have our backlight is off. We can have it a normal position, or we can go, it looks like a bright position, and with that it will stay on all the time. And I think we'll leave it there for this adventure. And now you start to see what the issue is. I've not seen a video anywhere of this thing being used outside. I've read some complaints that it's hard to see in daylight. I will tell you it's impossible to see in daylight. Very difficult for me to see at 7 o'clock in the morning. I don't have the clock. Another thing that negative on this is when you take the batteries out, the clock's gone immediately. And so I don't have the clock set. It's 7 o'clock in the morning. Indiana, south central Indiana. Extraordinarily overcast. Looks like it could rain at any moment. And you guys, I'm looking at the screen and you can see the display better than I can right now, and it's on full time. Here it is, and that's the way it's going to be. I did the video yesterday in the daylight. I couldn't see the screen at all. You couldn't see the screen at all. It was horrible. I just ended the video and said, well, that's it. I tried to do a video inside, almost in a darkened room, and of course we all know how that goes. That didn't work out well, a black radio in a darkened room, but you could see the display. So this is kind of the third time through on this. One take, everybody knows the rules, and that's why I'm so discouraged with this. And if there's an Achilles heel to it, it's the fact you can't see it outside. This is horrible. I don't know. It's so bad, I don't even know if maybe I have a defective radio. Honestly, I don't know. But that's been the biggest disappointment. So anyway, our Easter egg, we cycle through. We can leave that display on all the time. We can jump around here. Let's go to, these are labeled scan buttons. On the on the Eton Mini edition, these aren't labeled scan, and that's the only difference I can see in the radio. But our scan, we can tune the radio with these. We also have a tuning wheel on this side too, but we can tune with these also. So we have a couple different ways to tune. Kind of nice. The power button is also a sleep timer. All you have to do is keep pressing the power button and it has a sleep timer. And then there's finally on, and we'll just turn it off for right now. Like I said, you can see the displays on all the time, which is nice at night. If you needed a little clock, a travel clock or something, it'd be great. Let's see, with the power off, the minute button, and it's marked here, 910 kilohertz. And I say it was undocumented, but it's there. You press your minute button and it toggles between 9 and 10 kilohertz, sorry. And with the power off, we did the backlight. With the power on, and we'll show you this here more in depth, but with the power on, the time button cycles through the different international shortwave bands. It's broken up into shortwave 1 and shortwave 2, so it will toggle through the international bands in shortwave 1. When you're in shortwave 2, it'll toggle through those international bands. Makes tuning a little easier. Anyway, but that's all the Easter eggs that this thing has. Like I said, very small speaker. Does have a metal speaker grill. That's kind of cool. The very front, alarm, time, minute, hour, power buttons, and also the sleep function. And well, there again, I saw the word sleep. See, my eyes are getting bad because I called that undocumented, but it's not. Now on the Grundig Mini, not the Grundig edition, but the Eton Mini, all of that's not on there. 9 and 10's not there, the scan's not there, sleep's not there. Anyway, I digress some more. We have a little key here that's a lock button that'll disable these buttons. However, it won't disable your tuning wheel or volume, and it won't disable your volume, I'm sorry. And that can be kind of bad if it's in your shirt pocket because it can really get adjusted quickly. And on the right hand side we have a tuning wheel, good old fashioned tuning wheel, DC adapter which isn't included, volume wheel. Backside is not much. 2 AAA batteries, which will get the life sucked out of them really quick. It has poor battery life. But if you use rechargeable batteries, who cares? And now I have a mosquito that's going to give me some kind of Zika or Ebola or something. On the left-hand side, and it's kind of on a beveled edge here, we have a switch for FM, AM, shortwave 1, shortwave 2. Just pull it whatever you want to go. Pretty neat. Comes about a 12-inch antenna. I didn't measure it, just glanced at it. It's about 12. And that's a grand tour of this thing. It's a very neat little radio, and I've been using it inside. Absolutely loved it indoors. And I thought, man, this is it. And then got outside, and like you see here, if it gets any brighter at all, I will not be able to see the display at all. And fortunately, the camera is picking it up kind of nice, and we can get through this, I think. But let's turn it on and just take a look at it. It's already on. FM, and let's power it up. The FM is amazing on this.
When I was 18. I'm now 36. I've been smoking half
You
my
can use
life.
this to
Or call 1-800-424.
scan to the next available station.
Brothers.
Once that's off, then you can use an
You can
adhesive
see
solvent. You can buy adhesive solvents.
doesn't do too bad. After about half volume or so, it gets a little distorted,
For draining that water heater,
but
is
that's
something
full
that can
volume.
make it work more efficient.
So
Make it last
it's not bad.
longer.
Like I said, you have to remember that it's not an expensive. It's not a Sangean ATS 909X. You know, it's not that. You have to keep that in mind. If you don't, then you just throw it to the side.
Headlines, I'm John Clark. School is back in session today in Bartholomew County. Both Bartholomew
Alrighty.
Consolidated and Flat Rock Hawk Creek schools start the school year today.
So that's kind of a tour of the FM. I don't want to get into the music end of it.
A rezoning request for development on nearly 10 acres.
And you can use the scan button just to move slowly. You can also use the tuning wheel. It has mute on tuning, but you can kind of creep up on the things, and it's not horrible.
You're receiving hairline. Your hairline. Like, seriously.
So it's not too bad. FM is really the best of this radio. Would be the FM, I think. That would be the best. Let's go to medium wave now. And we'll just quickly, I think we'll scan. Let's kind of scan around and just see what it finds. Didn't even find the local station. Oh my. It didn't do bad. Let's just jump around. It didn't do bad at night. Well, I want to see if we can get Cincinnati, 700. Somebody commented the other day they couldn't believe that I didn't rotate the radio around in medium wave. Well, there's a reason. If I were to go 710 and do that, and then 710 and do all that, it would be about a 2-hour video, and I try to keep everything crammed down into 30 minutes. So if I don't rotate the video or rotate the radio, you know, there's a method to the madness. I did that the other night when I first got it on the medium wave. Every click of the button, why I would rotate around and try. What I'd like to find is a weak station, because there's something I've noticed with this. And let's just see if we can find something. I don't really want the local station. I want a weaker station if I can. Okay, well, here's our local station. Now listen to this. Let's back up and I'll come back to it. What I've noticed on medium wave only is it starts off quiet, and then it gradually builds up like it's either humanely trying to raise the volume, or it's the DSP chip that's locking on to a station and it just gradually comes in stronger. I don't know which. There again, it's not documented, and I'm curious if others do that or if this is just me. But let's just listen now. I've got it full volume, and let's just listen. I'm not touching the volume.
Our Pledge of Allegiance, our way of life, are all fundamental to maintain our freedom and the standing we have as the greatest country on earth. We promote and defend these
So
values.
you can see it get louder,
Go to legion.org to find out more about the American.
and I don't know if that's normal, or do I have something. Here's Indianapolis.
The Colts wrapped up their final practice at Westfield before heading to Seattle. Andrew Luck says he's gaining confidence.
I don't know if that's normal or not. It's not bad, and there again, you know, I don't need it for medium wave stuff as much as I like the shortwave end of it. And speaking of, let's just dive down into it. Like I said earlier, you can hit the time button and cycle through all the different bands that are inside. You know, you're in shortwave 1 right now, so you can look at all the international bands inside there. Makes it a little closer if you want to use the tuning wheel, 31 meter band, and you can tune in and go that way. You also can drop outside of the international band and manually tune it. You can't scan continuously, but you can go down and drop out of that 31 meter and start getting into the 8 megahertz and on down. You can see how I'm going, and you can also see the display now. It's getting just a little bit lighter outside, and I'm having real difficulty with that display. Just bums me out to no end. Anyway, let's spin this around, and I like that feature that you can get outside of those bands and look at the 6935s or the, you know, whatever. I like that. The frequency range on this for the frequency hounds out there, AM FM standard stuff. Shortwave 1 is 5.9 to 10. Shortwave 2 is 11.65 to 18 megahertz. So there's some big gaps in this. Covers the international stuff. Still some big gaps in it, and you've just got one shot at WWV, and that's on 10 megahertz, and that's all you got. Again, you know, again I say, this is a $30 radio, and it's something that's the size of your cell phone. It's not going to be, you know, the end-all be-all. Anyway, let's do a scan here. Go back to where, let me go back to the beginning here. And let's just hit, I'm curious to what I can find outside.
He was laid in iron until the time.
I don't think it's going to disappoint.
Cánceres de seno se produce uno.
There's even some single sideband. Of course, this doesn't have single sideband, so we're not going to be able to decode what they're saying. Isn't that amazing? 93, 95.
Desde su vida hasta
And there's WWV at 10 megahertz. Unbelievable what it's finding at 7 o'clock in the morning. Let's start off with shortwave 2. Probably won't find as many stations. Usually anything around 10, 11 megahertz or below during the evening, 10 or 11 megahertz above during the day. Let's just see what happens. Maybe right in the middle where you find a lot of both. There is that magical point. I don't think we'll find much more than this. Maybe we will. Try to shield that display just a little bit because it's just impossible to see. I can't see it at all right now, except when I look at the camera, why I can see where it's at. Oh, I've got to come back to the real world now. Looks like 12 megahertz now. Oh, there's something there faintly. There's something there. And we're coming up on 17. We're probably about done now, I'd say. Yeah. And it's going to start over. And we're back to that. I like being able to have that display on all the time. I'm sure the battery life just dies with that display on. But like I said, I'm using rechargeable batteries, so I really don't give a hoot. What can I nitpick about this radio other than the obvious? The headphone jack is in the top. There is no headphones included with this. That's one of the nitpicky things. It is an FM stereo. But no earbuds or whatever that they normally throw in. You don't get those. You don't get a wrist strap, which that's okay with me, because you all know how I feel about the wonderful wrist straps. If you got a strap one on, you're doing it wrong. I haven't said that for almost a year. Anyway, yeah, no earbuds, and then that's okay. The display. The biggest thing that I have on this is I cannot see the display during the day. And that bums me out so bad because I wanted this radio, like I said, to take out during the day and roam around with it. And, you know, I don't, now I'm on the fence with this one. I don't know if I should send it back or not and just get my money back and move on. It does so well on shortwave, and do I need a display? I mean, do I really need a display to, do I need a display to see where I'm at? No, not really. You know, which is good. If I ever go blind, I won't, you know, displays won't matter that much. So I'm really on the fence with this. I love this radio. I have played with it every night since I got it. I know I kind of broke the rules on opening it up and not ever seeing it. Man, I really dig this radio. But I can't see it during the day. And oh, here comes all our road construction people now. That's exciting. I apologize for that horrific noise. Here in Indiana, we only have 2 seasons. We have winter and road construction season. That's all we get. I don't know what to do with this one. I'd love to see the comments light up on this. Send it back or keep it. I don't know which. If my manual is really soaked with dew like I think it is, well, that pretty well means I'm going to have to keep it. I wouldn't send it back with a wet manual. I guess I took one for the team. I just don't know what to do with it. I'm trying to think of more little nitpicky things. I would love to see a Eton Mini Grundig Edition 2 come out and have a bright display and a really, I'd like to see 2.3 to 26 megahertz continuous shortwave. That would be outrageous. That'd be nice. I'd like to see that. The display's horrible. No earbuds. That could be kind of nitpicky. Could be really crappy for somebody that wants to throw it in their pocket and listen to this as you walk or whatever. It could really be kind of not a great thing. The manual could really be written a lot better. So with all that, the first night I had this, I had this at about a 7.5 out of 10 in its price range of extreme compact shortwaves. I had it at a 7.5 out of 10. It was that good on shortwave. At night, medium wave, it doesn't do anything impressive to even warrant a nighttime video. Don't have the ability to do a nighttime video anyway right now. But it didn't do anything impressive. Yeah, it got Cincinnati. Yeah, it got Louisville and Chicago, and that's about it. Zoomer radio was just a faint, not much, 400 some miles away. It just, medium wave is its weakest link. And if the medium wave was better, it would definitely be a keeper at that point. Anyway, where was I headed with all this? I don't even know where I was headed. Trying to decide whether to keep it or not and wrestle around in my mind. But 7.5 out of 10. Even with the medium wave so not so good, the short wave was outrageous. A little 12-inch antenna inside with an internet router running in the next room. I got, the first night I got 21 shortwave stations. The second night I got 23 shortwave stations on shortwave 1, and I got 3 on shortwave 2, which is explainable at 11 o'clock at night. So and just now, I mean, it impressed the heck out of me just now. Shortwave is really, really good, and I 7.5 out of 10. But now with this display that you can't even see that display now, and it's barely visible now. I don't know if I turn it on, if you can see anything. You can't, and it's overcast and dark and dank out. That really drove it down in the ground, and almost to the point that I want to return it and just try something else. I can't recommend this radio just because of that display. If you're only going to use it inside and not take it outside at all, then yeah, this is I would say buy this all day long. But if you want to use it outside like I was going to, no, I'd find something else. I'm also curious about the Grundig Super Duper Field Edition Bluetooth MP3 Mega, I don't know what I'm even talking about. Some kind of radio that's the Eton that has the big radio that has the exact same kind of display. Wonder how it does outside. If it doesn't do any better than this, I'd really be sending it back. So, with that, hope you've enjoyed this video. My God, we've done 30 minutes almost. Hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have, give it a thumbs up. If you haven't, yeah, I don't blame you at times. You know, it's not Netflix quality here, 4K or whatever. We just kind of hang out and talk. If you'd like to support the channel, this is the big part. If you've made it this far, this is the big portion. If you like the channel, there's a link down in the description box right there that you can click, take you to PayPal. You can donate some money to help support the channel. All that money goes to buy radios to review and to bring content to the channel. It's the only way the channel can keep going. Whether it's $1, $2, $5, whatever. You know, and people, I've seen comments that, oh well, my dollar wouldn't do anything. If 500 people sent $1, I'll let everybody do the math. You know, if 100 people sent $1, or if 20 people sent $1, there's the next radio. So, you know, there's strength in numbers and all that. It's there. I pass the plate, and you know, we'll just see what happens. And now I'm going to pan up, and you can see how dark and overcast it is, and you can't see the display on that radio. That kind of not so good. Let me know if you keep it or send it back. I'm leaning on the send it back side, and I'm leaning on the keep it side. Man, I like that radio. I really, really like it. If I lived in a cave, it'd be perfect. You know, if I could go live in Mammoth Cave and never see daylight again, it'd be the perfect radio. Alrighty, it's all I got. Hope you enjoyed the video, and get out, and maybe I've inspired you to pick up a shortwave radio. I hope so. That's my goal of the whole thing, is just have some fun with shortwave radio. And we will see you at the next review.